world renowned, da da da. And these are the men that are delivering this information, and this information is all saying everything about your country, your government, your finance, the way you're living, working, eating, your language, the way you speak. Everything is a lie, and everything you're doing is wrong. And it's been programmed this way. I'm gonna look around, and I'm gonna look at what I do with my life. I street perform because I hate working jobs. It makes me feel horrible, miserable, and like a slave. I don't like to stream even because I don't like Twitch to get any part of anything that I get because I don't want to be monitored. I don't like to do a certain amount of things, and I felt depressed and sad that the world is the way that it is. I see all these women, and I like a sexy woman, you know, but it gets to the point where these girls are just flat out whores. Like they're just fucking dirty whores. It doesn't matter. Those legs up for anyone, dick suck, and then they're proud of it. And I'm just like looking at all this, and I'm just like, man, like I'm a straight man. I love pussy like the next guy, but where's my fight? Like, where's my battle? It's like, oh, all I gotta do is have hella money and then treat you like a bitch, and then you'll be sucking my dick that night. It's just like, how come I can't come up to a female and say, hey, how's it going? How are you? My name is da 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 da, and have a regular conversation, and then it end up in a sexual? Nah, it's always got to be some like weird perverted situation. It's just, I don't know. And I'm just seeing all the ghetto people. I'm seeing all the girls. I'm seeing all the assholes and the racists, and Trump is the president. And I'm looking around, and everyone is just sitting down, writing on their tests. Like we're all in 5th grade doing our tests. I'm the only one with my head up looking around the class. Like, this isn't fucking right.
Yeah.
And everyone just keeps writing on their test.
Well, more people are starting to look up, fortunately.
So basically what I'm saying is that me and you are going through all this shit, and we're feeling like all these feelings and emotions or whatever, but all that means is that we're actually connected to our spirit and what we are, and we're not stupid like 90% of the other people that think that everything is just a silly, simple. I mean, God bless their souls, but from what I found out, man, if you don't know about this stuff, you're going down.
Yeah.
And I don't mean it like they're gonna come out with a bomb and blow everyone up tomorrow or whatever. It's just like stuff like diabetes, or like, you know, like cancers and like health problems and emotional problems. Like, these things are gonna be the things that hurt people because they don't know that they should be trying to do something better.
You don't even know that there is anything. You don't understand what anything is. The fact that what's happening in society is an entire construct, like a TV set, like a show, that all these, like, and it's shaped mostly by school, that like there's this different levels and like different sections of like the society, where it's like you're this low, tiny little level peon, and then your parents are these overlords who know everything, and school, everything about school is perfect, and that's where you learn. Everything is like 100% correct, and you'll never be fooled. And the government is this all overbearing, like giant shadow, like that covers everything and encapsulates everything, and there's no questioning it. It's so ass backwards to the way this place was actually founded. Like, the whole reason, the core essential of America itself was, no, we came here because we questioned our government and we said, fuck you. And we're here to say that's not going to happen. And if the government in place, which is put in place by the people, can be questioned at any time. And that's
at any time, like once.
But now people think and know, depending on which part of the government, which isn't even one thing anymore, isn't even this one giant, like, the government. You know, there's so many different factions, there's so many different parts to it, and not all of them really work together anymore. And depending which parts of which ones you actually do piss off. If you do ask questions, which is your given right, you're probably gonna wind up dead. Some sort of accident.
I've been like I said, I'm not smart enough to deny this information, so that means that I'm not smart enough or intelligent enough to confirm it. But all I can say that it is information that is out there, and it's out there in numbers, and many people have backed it up. And they're saying that in order to create this new world order, which is, I mean, you can look on your dollar bill and all these obvious things where it is.
Yeah.
They've been planning, like Eisenhower was talking about it, like President John F. Kennedy, one of our presidents, was murdered in public because of this. And if you listen to John F. Kennedy's speech, he's a president who was murdered on the street. Like, I can't believe that you can say that our president was murdered on the street to people, and then they'll be like, the government is fine.
Because he was like, hey, let's take a look at the CIA. Let's not have a fucking private Federal Reserve. Let's take a look at all this bullshit that's not going right in our country.
And he said it in such a way that he was like, hey, let's take a look. But really, deep down, he was like, oh my God, did you guys see what the fuck is going on?
Fuck these niggas, what?
Yeah. And he had to say it. He had to say it politically correct.
Yeah.
In a correct way. And you could see his face just like, this should never happen. And then everyone is just like, oh yeah, you're right, it should never happen. Like, they just don't get it. And that's why this goes on for so long. Apparently, there's both sides of the faction, like Hillary and Trump, same group. Kim Jong-un, Trump, same group. The good guys and the bad guys, same group. This giant coalition has been creating all these wars.
Dude,
ISIS, same group.
I actually have started paying a little bit more attention to what's going on with the government. There's actually a lot of crazy shit going on, and I'm really hoping that this is the case, that Trump and Hillary are not in the same party. They're not friends at all. They fucking hate each other, and the Clinton administration has tried as hard as they can to do everything they can to make Trump look like the worst fucking person, which he's not a good guy. But the reason being is he actually, from the looks of it, from the sounds of it, and what I can only hope is he's actually trying to fucking do something similar to JFK. And if you look at what he has done with replacing so many head officials in like the Department of Defense and the CIA and all these other people, he could be knocking down bowling pins. And
I want to believe that too.
He might be doing it for some other sort of reason, his own personal goal or something. But if it happens, it's a good thing. And best/worst case scenario, he just fucking burns it all down and we get to rebuild from fucking ground zero. Intentionally, unintentionally, I don't know.
I would love to hope for that. But again, like, because there's information out there, and it could be disinformation, but again, if you listen to 30 people saying the same disinformation, that either that's 30 very misinformed people, or something about what they're talking about is accurate. And all anyone ever says about Trump is that he's a part of the same coup. Don't be fooled. Don't be fooled. Don't be fooled. He's a part of it. Him and the Clintons are all part of the same thing, and they're all trying to do the same thing, and they're just playing their roles. And then they go even deeper and explain different situations where these people are playing their roles. Like, they show you these newscasters. There's these people that are like in crises, and they're like, oh my God, I just saw them. They came in and they took all the babies and they took them out of the incubators and just left them on the floor to die. And then she starts crying, and then your heart like sinks. And then they go, this lady is an actor. She's not even telling the truth. And then it shows a video and pictures of her in multiple different locations.
And different news stories, yeah.
Yeah, and then you're just like, What? It's like if they're setting up that far, like why wouldn't they set Trump and Hillary? Come on, like come on. Like Obama's not even black. Michelle Obama is a man, and
Yeah,
and
I
Joan got killed for that. I don't know though, but that's what they say. So
I've seen personally as many people, like you were saying, as so many people saying the same thing. I've seen as much on either side, and I've seen a lot of misinformation. I've seen a lot of bullshit, the mainstream media. I've seen a lot of things, and I will never stop questioning everything, and I will never take any one thing as a solid 100% fact.
yeah, same.
I don't like to do that. So I can look and I can hope, but from what I see,
No.
I was 100, like I was completely like, fucking, are you kidding me, Trump? Like, are you actually kidding me? I'm gonna fucking kill myself. And I believed everything that I saw that was so readily available. All of the, grab her by the pussy, racist, Nazi bigot stuff. But then I started to look into what was available factually and concrete, and listening to everybody else's opinions, not just shutting them out because they happened to be on the other side and I made my opinion.
Mhm.
So I would listen and I'd watch, and there was a lot of really interesting things I found over the last 2 months.
He looks good on paper. I'll give him that. He really does.
Oh, I think he looks horrible on paper. That's like the worst thing. A fucking billionaire reality television star.
Yeah.
Terrible.
Well, I mean, I guess since he's been since he's been president, he's made himself look. Well, this is what they say. They say that Trump is just a clown. He's here to be a clown and to make everyone lose faith in America. When I go on Facebook, every time I see a Trump post, I go into the main comments, like the world comments, and then all I'm like is like, "From New Zealand, I'm sending you all of my love. I'm so sorry that you have to go through this. From Africa, I feel so bad for you guys that you have this And it's like, that's exactly what the other guy said he was doing. He was trying to make America look bad so that everyone else would be like, okay. No more power in America. Let's join forces and become this new one single. They're trying to make the new world order happen by dispowering America, and we're the greatest country in the nation by having this douchebag here ruining everything and ruining our rep. Yeah. And that will all lead to the plan of. I mean, and if you take a couple steps back and you don't focus on the facts, and you just look at the way the country is going, you could say, without ever hearing that, man, it looks like Trump is just trying to ruin our rep. And that's literally exactly what he's doing.
Right. But did you take a step back to look at potentially that is how everybody wants it to look like? And the people who are in place, who control the mainstream media, who are part of the deep state, who actually, like, I can't think of somebody more tied and actually being the face of the deep state besides the Clinton administration, which is not just Hillary. That includes the Podestas. That includes the fucking George Soros and Rothschilds and shit. Those people.
Exactly.
And
remember,
so
listen,
those people. So listen, if Trump's plan is like he was always saying, he wants to reform everything, he wants to change everything, his whole "Make America Great Again" thing, that threatens all of those people's position of power. If he would become president and do the things he was saying, these people would start losing all of the bullshit money that they're getting for no reason, being actually just taken out of their positions because they have no reason being there, which has happened. Is that what is being fed to us, being shaped by the powers that have been in place for so long, that have their control and their hold on absolutely everything already, making that the most available information, and every single person that you know, is just basically out there, the majority of people who are still not really awake, they're going to look at, oh, I know this. This is what I see in my face. This is a trusted news source. Like, this is, you know, there's no other way. This is school. School's not going to lie to me.
Have you seen Do you know what QAnon is?
Yeah, that's what got me to start looking at all of this again.
Okay, so the Clinton administration is recently, they got a boat discovered with hella cocaine on it and hella shit.
Yeah.
So, and they're looking real bad. So what's happening, what I'm thinking is, from what I've researched, how far and how long since like Zionism, these people have had power. Zionism was literally before they even wrote the fake or the real Bible. You can't even tell. Like, I'm still trying to figure out which part or which parts of the Bible are real and which aren't. Like, it's that.
Yeah. I was saying that last night, just talking about which part of this Bible are we talking about, which edition that was rewritten 1,000 times by 100 different kings to fit their rule of their kingdom. It's not even the same book.
It up. Yeah.
Translated, retranslated, edited, revised, translated again.
The thing is, there is a certain there's one Hebrew version, and that's what the version it was written in, where it has a bunch of the prophecies that, I mean, like, whether the Bible is fake or not, these fucking prophecies happen to the T. They're like little riddles, but they fucking happen, like, to the point where it's like, shut the fuck up. This shit's gonna happen. It happens every fucking time. Fuck off. Like, I don't want to hear like, to me, the idea of being an atheist is just throwing your arms up and saying, fuck it, I don't know. That's too easy. That's too fucking easy. Seriously, I will literally search until I'm 80 years old. I don't give a fuck. I will literally look through different cupboards and books, and I'll at least keep trying to figure out which is true or not. Like, that's a big fucking thing.
Yeah.
If that's real, it's a big deal, bro.
Mm-hmm. There's a lot of books that have a lot of different versions that a lot of people are committing mass murder because of. Absolutely insanity.
Well, also what I've done recently is I studied the Bible, and I was coming from a strange, I don't even like the word atheist anymore. I was coming from a strange agnostic view, yeah. And I was just like, I'm not sure about any of this. And so I started to research it all, and I started to look up black magic because I'm gonna figure out how this works. And then once I started to get into the real nitty gritty, because I go deep when it comes to my researching. When I got into the nitty gritty, I was like, I'm gonna do some spells. I found out in order to do the spells, you have to say the name of the 4 guardian angels and God himself. And then I was like, whoa, I thought God doesn't exist here. Once I saw that shook me from the bottom up.
God is just a different concept when it comes to that approach. God is, well, it's not a different concept. It's a different perception and a different.
Well, that's what I was going to explain, is like what people's belief or understanding or understanding of what God is so. This is the best explanation I've had for what God is. God is, but he isn't that, and he's not that, or even that. And he's not that either. And you just keep going forever. That's like, to me, I think that's the best. Just constantly keep being like, oh, that's not what it is. Well, that's not what it is. And you just keep your mind open to whatever, because it's not, you can't put your finger on the universe or the source or the creation of everything. Like, it's not a person, of course not. You know, it's just, you know what I mean? Like, it's of course not, and it's just that over. Of course, it's not that.
That which is not.
Yeah, that which is and is not.
Well, it is what everything isn't.
Yeah. So, like, when you go that deep, I started to realize, like, man, I can't trust anything. Which means that if I'm gonna read the Bible, I gotta read it one line at a time, and then research what people have come up in their conclusions of that line. And it turns out like one line is like 5 paragraphs of information when you break it down the right way in the Hebrew Bible, and it leads to all this stuff. And then you find out Zionism, where they found out how to trick you and use the Bible to trick people. And they created all these extra religions, but all of these religions are all based off of one single religion, which is beautiful because you have all these, except for like Mormonism, Pastafarians and shit. Like, all the main religions are all based off of the same Anunnaki, the same fucking Sophia, the same every single creation story. They all line up, and I've looked into each and every single one because I'm not gonna not know. Okay, fuck that. I'm gonna know.
Yeah.
So I looked them all up. They're all the same thing, which means that if all of these different religions from different worldviews, like the people, like you gotta realize that the people that are killing over their religion, most of them aren't actually killing over their religion. They're killing over their king. And their king is only telling them to kill over their religion because he's a part of the coup that created this religion in order to control everyone. Yeah. And create wars so they can make money off of corpses. Like they even have a whole system as to how when you die, they make money. They need us. Every death from an American person because of your birth certificate and your social security, that's like $400K for these guys. Like they need you to die. Like yeah. They've set it up this way to where we're going in like the wars, like the Gulf of Tonka, 9/11, like most of these wars that people are going and dying and killing each other for, they say that they put it on the hand of religion and they say it's all about God or whatever. But these people aren't doing it for God. These people aren't religious. These people are following their leader. And their leader tells them what to do, or he cuts off their head, or their family doesn't get to eat. Right. They starve. Like these people are fighting for reality things. They're not fighting for God when they're murdering other children. You know what I mean?
Sometimes.
That's the thing, is they've been fooled into believing that this is for Allah. This is for Allah.
Yeah, exactly.
But it isn't for Allah. Yeah. It's for your corrupt governor.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it means that the people that are saying that war is caused by religion, they're actually saying it wrong. War is influenced by religion, which is influenced by men that are trying to manipulate the unaware. And the only way to manipulate the unaware is to change their belief. Yeah. Put Bruce Jenner on fucking Time magazine being the sexiest woman ever, even though he's just a man who chopped his balls off. And now everyone believes that chopping your balls off as a man is some heroic thing, and it isn't. And you just tricked you can make all these people go to war now because they believe that is thing. And it's just that simple. It doesn't even need to be religion. It could be science, where people will be like, that's true because of science. That doesn't even make sense to say that. Like, that doesn't even make... Science is nothing more than an observation of reality. Science doesn't prove anything. Science is still trying to prove what the fuck this shit is. This shit is first, science is second. You can't say it's science, you say it's reality. And then you got to go specifically into the part of science that it is and start talking about the scientific term. But those terms don't mean shit. A piece of grass will grow if you put water on it. If you call it H2O, if you call it a fucking photosynthesis, the plant doesn't give a fuck what you call it. Just give me some water, bitch. Your science is secondary.
Yeah. Yeah.
I get too deep in.
No, I know what you mean, man. I keep like forgetting like what I was gonna say. I want to cut you off.
You have to cut me off. I'll never stop talking.
Yo, is my microphone like really loud?
Yeah. And your voice is really deep. My whole room is just vibrating.
Yeah, I just like I keep hearing it like echo. Like I don't have it like on any different settings than normal, but
You just have a whale. You speak on a whale frequency, so it
is that
just.
better though? Does it? Because it sounds like it's coming out like it sounds like shit when I hear it echo.
I'm actually kind of jealous of how deep your voice is,
Why?
because you sound like Barry White.
Oh shit.
You could be on the phone with a girl like, "Hey, lady."
Hey, how you doing?
Yeah, you're lucky.
You
Damn,
trying to come over tonight? I
damn,
got
that's
something
so hard
good
for you.
for you.
Hey. Damn, I sound like a little toddler.
No, I have done I have I've had some fun, interesting events and experiences on Discord, to say the least.
Really?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Narva's got to be the radio introducer.
Yo, if you need me to record anything like intros or like a sub sound or something for you, got you.
Dude, I just, I'm just, I've just been such in this like funk. I swear, dude, after that whole Ice Poseidon thing happened, I was like, yeah, yeah, yeah. And then it was just this really strange realization of somehow, and I read this from a philosopher too, I forgot who, but it's like if you reach your goal, like everything has to have a purpose. Like trees, they just follow their shit every 4 seasons. Like, don't fuck with me. I make apples in spring, bitch. My apples fall in fall, motherfucker. I take everything off in the winter and I start making leaves in spring. Like, leave me the fuck alone. I'm a tree. This is what I do. And like, squirrels do that, bumblebees do that, butterflies do. Humans are the only beings that are so intelligent and free enough that we have a specific thing that we're supposed to do. My thing would be singing, because like I've always sung, so I had to have known about the ability to sing the second that I tried to sing, and then when I did, I was like, oh wow, I can sing. But I always wanted to, so that's a strange thing. It
Yeah.
was almost as if I was made to do that.
Same. Dude,
Same with wine and everything else that I do.
I feel like I willed myself. I've said this before, dude. I feel like I willed myself into having the beard, the deep voice, and the big feet.
You made it happen.
Yeah, because I wanted it. That's how I wanted to be when I was a kid. So fucking bad. Like I was like, I don't even know why. I just wanted to be like a big dick swinger for some reason. Like I wanted I just wanted to have beard, a deep voice, and big feet. Like
Uh,
obviously
well,
every dude wants a big dick, but like I
yeah.
was just thinking about my feet. I don't know why. I guess I
I
thought because
think
they like coincide, like they're supposed to be like you got big feet. I don't know.
no, dude. This is what the one of the philosophers. I can't remember. I think it's Carl Jung who says it. He says it in such a manner like he studied people, and he's not questioning it anymore. He's declaring it. He's saying when a person is born as a child, just like these animals and these fruits or whatever, you know what you are. You know where you are, and you know what you're supposed to be. And as a child, I always knew I had to grow up and sing. I knew I had to grow up and be the best artist that I had to. Like, it wasn't a matter of I want to. It was like I was programmed to do that, and I was just catching on. And what it is like it's not necessarily that we are choosing or manifesting what we want our lives to be. Our lives are supposed to be a certain way, and it's almost as though like a lot of people like to think that we're the past trying to get into the future, but actually we're the future, or we could be both. We're the future reaching back through the past and pulling ourselves forward. Like, so you already are what you are. What is going on in this journey of life is you're walking through the small phases of what you are until you get to the points where you confirm to yourself that you are what you are. But You were already that in order to have been making the steps to even walk into it to begin with. Which means that we are already all we are all already what we are supposed to be always, which is kind of scary.
Yeah. It's interesting. It's one theory, and I think it's like in certain respects it could be like certain respects it's definitely spot on. But again, I have just been so personally set on not accepting any one thing in area to be 100% correct, total authority on anything. I like to listen and I observe, but I cannot deny I'm one of the biggest skeptics in the world. And not to the point where I don't believe anything. I think in the true literal sense where I just question everything and I don't trust anything immediately. Definitely more more embedded after a number of experiences. Of course, losing trust, things like that. But I think it comes with maturity and a certain level of open-mindedness, to accept that something you once believed is false, incorrect. It's okay to once have been immature in your life. You know, it's okay to be wrong. And people don't like to accept that.
Yeah.
And that's something that I think is pretty important for people to need to recognize, accept, and be able to learn and grow. I love learning my flaws and pointing out when I'm wrong. I didn't used to be like that. It used to be really uncomfortable, but it's something I worked on. And it's something that's been incredibly beneficial for my own well-being and for my ability to be in relationships, like of any level, friendship, work relationships, you know, any type of relationship.
Yeah, you can't get better if you know it all.
I worked on. So
Did I ever tell you how this whole Twitch thing happened?
you know.
Did I ever tell you about like what I did like literally 45 minutes before that all happened?
Oh, I was gonna say, dude, I was fucking there. What do you mean? I'm like your first mod.
Yeah.
You mean tonight?
No, I mean like the very first time that I ever met Ice. And like I ended up on his stream. There was something that I actually did physically in this world, in this realm.
Oh. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I never told anyone about it because it to me, this is the reason why I can never deny religion. But what I've learned, I won't use the word religion. I'll say the existence of a creator, and
so spirituality, maybe.
Yeah, that's the best word. The reason why I love that explanation of what the creator is, it's not this and it's not that and it's not that either. That is the answer to everything. Everything is everything. And then everything is nothing. But you don't need to say that everything, because nothing counts as everything. So everything is everything, which means that every time you have a question about one thing, it's always the same answer for every single other thing that you have, all of your problems. So, and I've lived my life this way. If I am not learning covers enough, then I don't just tell myself, okay, I need to go learn covers. I understand it. I'm like, okay, why am I not learning covers these days? I guess I'm just feeling out of it, and then I'll figure out what is actually going on, why I'm not doing everything. I solve that problem, and then not only do I start learning covers, but I start working out, I start drawing, and I start tricking, and I start doing all these other things that I was not doing as much as I should have again. And I kind of make sure everything is tied together like that, like 6 birds, 1 stone type shit, like no energy wasted. And I learned this through efficiency, you know, like doing yard work or learning how to trick, for example. Like I'm not the best tricker, but I'm good enough at tricking is to where if I
You're
saw a
not a
regular,
what? Not a bet. What?
I'm not the best tricker. Like
Come on, bro.
I'm not even like compared to the actually good trickers. I'm a noob. But compared to a regular person that can't do any flips, I'm like level like 12. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I can do like 1,000 tricks, but a regular person can only do like none. And then the people that are better than me can do 10,000 tricks. So I understand the difference in levels. I understand the difference in knowledge. When I see someone go on the floor and throw a double back from a touchdown rise like it didn't mean anything to him, there's no way that I can then look at that guy and be like, I'm smarter than him with tricks. It's like, no way. He knows way more about tricking than I do. I couldn't do that. But I can do a lot of things, and I can do a lot more things than a lot of other people. And I know for a fact, with what I know about my body, that I can't do that right now. I have to practice for at least a couple months. So I can objectively say this guy is better than me. And then that guy can objectively say, I'm better than you. There's a tricker who's actually the best tricker in the world, and every tricker in the world, no one argues. This is not a question. This guy is the best tricker in the world. And it's kind of crazy that that's the thing. Like he's that much better than everyone else. And it's like like there's millions of he's one guy and he is that much better than millions of other people. He's not even touchable. And it's really, it makes no sense. And to me, I'm looking at my laptop, I'm looking at my mic, and I'm looking at my cell phone, and I'm like, I can't make a laptop, cell phone, or a mic right now. But there are people in the world that do that every day for a living, making refrigerators and new cars and computers and the things that millions and billions of us need as a necessity in our lives. Those people are not stupid. They're so smart that they're doing the same thing I'm doing with the bird and the stone thing. They're like, okay, I'm smart. I know how to learn. I know how to invent. And I know that I'm only one person. So if I make a light bulb for myself, cool, I'll have light forever. But if I make a light bulb that is marketable and sellable to 8 billion other people on the earth, I'll be a billionaire and I'll have helped everyone plus myself. And that I've learned this from a spiritual guy who was talking about selfishness. When you're truly selfish, you help every single person in your vicinity. You do something for every single person you've ever met if you're really 100% selfish, because you know that helping these people will lead to them helping you in the future. If you are so selfish, you want all the help you can get. If you're half selfish, then you'll do certain things until a person or a situation doesn't, like you won't find out how to manipulate that situation to get the best that you can get from it. So you're not as selfish as you could be. And that supposedly is worse than being fully selfish, which means involving every single person on the planet with your selfish act. And this is all the stuff that I learned I'm trying to tell you what I did before the whole Ice Poseidon thing. So I learned about intention. Like if I pull a gun up at a cat or a zebra or a bear, say I'm in the forest and I'm pulling my gun out of the bear. The bear is trying to attack me and I pull the gun up and I kill the bear to protect myself and my family. My intention was in defense. I had a good, loving, caring reason to do that. I didn't want to kill the bear, but I had to protect myself and my family. That intention is an intention of protection. That was the reason. Now let's say I'm hungry. We need to eat. So I go and I hunt a bear and then I kill him. that's also a good intention, because it's like, man, my family needs to eat. We need, are you there?
Yeah, yeah. Oh shit, yeah, I'm here. I fucking muted myself because I was coughing. My bad. I forgot that one. I've been like saying like, yeah, dude, and
Yeah.
no, I'm listening, dude. Yeah, kill him.
Okay. So like you shoot this guy and like, my family, we need food, so you kill him. Boom. That's a good intention, but I mean, like, the good way to do that. I mean, like, if you shot him and you're like, "Fuck you, you piece of shit bear, fuck off, motherfucker. We need to eat, bitch," and you're mean to the bear as he was dying, that's a bad intention. That's fucked up, you know. But like, if you're just like, "Oh, I need to do this. Thank you, bear. Thank you for sacrificing yourself for my family." You're keeping the intention and the energy and the flow on everything good, and you're affecting more than just yourself. You're affecting your family and such. Now, if you're just walking around with a gun and you're just killing bears because you can kill them, and you're hanging their heads as trophies, and your intentions are off. You're a dick.
Yeah.
Okay, you're just killing innocent bears. So what that means is that when you pull your gun up and you point it at a target, whether or not your intention is good or not, you can still get what you want. You can still kill the bear and hang his head as a trophy, or in Jeffrey Dahmer's case, you can murder a bunch of gay guys and rape their neck or their head off. Freak. You can get what you want from the universe. You ask the universe and it gives you what you want, just because you're a part of it and you ask. So you have to be careful what you ask for. And like, I'm telling you, I've studied this shit. I swear I'm at least 200 hours in. If I ever talk to anyone about this stuff, I'm not even grazing the surface. I'm literally saying what I know I can say in the time period that I have, without making them think that I'm a fucking psychopath.
Yeah.
That's how deep I've gone into this shit. And and it's to a point where I followed what the Hebrew Bible said that the Creator wanted you to do. I referenced it in science, the way that the human mind and the human body works. I referenced that exact same topic in psychology with all the other philosophers, what they would say, and then societies. And then I matched that exact same topic with the Illuminati or the shadow government or whatever. Same topic with politics. I put that topic to every single thing: the weather, the economy, the countries, the differences, the names of shit, the languages. I put that same thought, that same piece of information, and I held it up to all these different knowledges, right? And it sticks. It sticks with every fucking state. Like, if it's not a religious reason why it works, there's a physical reason why it works. If there isn't a physical reason why it works, there's a spiritual reason why it works. If there's not a spiritual reason why it works, there's a reality reason why it works. Like, every single, it's unshakable. It's unshakable. Like, you can say how many things a breath does for you. Like, I'm just breathing in to take in air, but breath also can be a meditation. It can be a form of focus. It can help your heart rate change. It can release certain chemicals in your brain. Like, everything that you have and everything you see and everything you do is everything else. And that means that everything should be and has to be looked at from a group and not an individual section. So when it comes to creating a goal, an actual goal, a goal that is worth having, a goal that is worth achieving, you can't be the only one involved, because that makes it a weak goal. That makes your intention weak. You're only selfish 50% if your goal is only for you or your family. It's too small. It's too small. Of course, you can still shoot the bear, but maybe you're going to have to shoot another bear next week or next month because you didn't shoot the right sized bear to keep your family fed in one bear killing for the next 12 years. Like, you only shot these small baby guppy bears, so you got to shoot a bear every fucking month, and that's dangerous because they can also kill you. So it gets to a point where you start to realize your utility. How fast can I make something happen, and how big can I make that thing happen fast? And then science says that a person with a high IQ not only do these people with high IQs get to the end goal, but they get to the end goal first. They're the first to create this new type of thing. They're the first to do this. They're the first to create this new app or whatever that everyone loves. And then everyone just goes, oh, some random guy named Stevie Johnson just created this random app. Never. Yeah. Stevie Johnson was so smart. He was so ahead of his time. He was so doctored with whoever's helping him, or he's just very lucky with that brain. He thought about you when he made his fucking project. He thought about you and he thought about everyone else when he made his little small app. And that's why when you look at that app, you laugh and you giggle and it makes you happy. Yeah. Because he did that shit for you. But he also did it for himself. But because he did it for you, now you're affected by him. Now you want to do something and help him. That's true selfishness. That's the way you make something happen. It's not magic. It's math, it's numbers, but it's also spirituality, it's also science, it's also philosophy, it's also sociology. Everything is everything. So I'm reading Black Magic. I see how they do their spells. You have to sacrifice something. You have to give something up. You have to do all these crazy things, and you have to keep your mind a certain way. Otherwise, you can't get the thing that you're sacrificing for, whatever. So I understand that. I understand the part of being the human calculator. You have a left brain and a right brain. One side of your brain is emotional, other side is logical. I've experienced this myself when I've landed new tricks, something I've never done in my life before. It was impossible for me moments earlier. And what I do is I think in my brain emotionally, and I get excited, I get angry, and I pump myself up like Dragon Ball Z. I'm super emotional, and I say to myself, I've done things that I didn't even know I could do a backflip, which means that I could do anything that I don't know I can do as long as I try and I think analytically. I can do it. I know I can do it. I've done this before. I'm strong. I feel great. I'm pumping myself up. That's one side of my brain, and then I activate the other side of my brain. I've landed every single move up to this. I've even actually gotten close to landing the move after this when I was playing around one day. So I know for a fact that it's possible for me to do this. You put those two sides of your brain together, the emotional, the logical, the self-reaffirmation, boom, and you just land this magical trick out of nowhere. And you when you're landing, you're looking at yourself, what the fuck did I just do? Did I just do that right now? And then all your friends run up to you and give you, they know how long you've been working on that trick. And it's like, yeah, I made something impossible happen for myself right now by thinking a specific way. So you take that same aspect, that same thought, and you put it into what I was doing. Like I told you about the black people, I hated the way black people made to look in the world. I hated it. And I hated how all my black people kept acting like niggers and everyone else kept encouraging it. And I was like, I am not going to sit back and allow this to happen. So if I have a kid, a son or a daughter, and they walk around acting like that, I'm just going to shoot myself. I'm not even going to talk to them. So instead of walking around with a Black Lives Matter sign, what less way to matter than to walk around with a cardboard sign that's telling that you matter? That's the least way to matter. It's so embarrassing.
Oh man, I'm so glad I'm not live on Twitch.
It's better, I know, right? It's better to say Black Lives Matter and then fucking shoot someone in the head than to walk around with a cardboard box spray painted.
This looks really bad with all the tryhards. Hold on. Okay. That's great.
But so for me, I was like, I'm not gonna yell to the top of my lungs that Black Lives Matter. That's embarrassing. I'm gonna go prove it. So I was like, I'm gonna do what the old black guys did that made me feel good about black people when I was a child. I'm gonna put on a tie or a button-up shirt. I used to wear ties, and then I switched to the bow tie right before I met Ice.
Hold on.
So I'm gonna wear a bow tie. I'm gonna wear a suit. I'm gonna come out with a full case. I'm gonna have my face on the freaking thing. I'm gonna have CDs with me. I'm gonna look like a fucking deal. And I'm not going to stop until everyone in the fucking world hears me. That's what I said. That was my goal. I want everyone to look at me and I want them to say, okay, cool, black people don't have to be that way. And I want to make an example that that real music exists, real black people and real people that are connected to their soul and their spirit exist, and that everyone needs to wake the fuck up. And that was my goal. And I started reading religion and everything. Like I said, I am not fucking not knowing. Fuck you. I'm gonna find out. Fuck that shit. And so I read everything, looked up everything. I started fasting. I started holding the Sabbath days because to me, I could have done black magic shit, but it's the intention. You're killing bears just for the fun of it. And I didn't, if there was a God and if I could do black magic, that means that I'm going to go to fucking hell for using this black magic if this shit works.
Wait, so but you're black.
I know.
So
it doesn't give you that black pass, dude.
Black then?
No. Oh. They do white magic. God damn it, I'm racist against my own magical type.
No.
But,
so I want to know more about wait, no, go ahead.
I'm trying to wrap it up, but it's just such a big
I feel you.
I'm literally almost done now. So so now you know my intention and you know my goal. My goal is to change what people think about black people, is to be seen and heard from a lot of people, okay? And it's to prove a point. Like, music exists, musicians are out there, and people have souls and spirits, and we're not all stupid and blind. That's why I did that. That's why I still do it today. And I was following all the religious stuff. I was gonna do magic. And just watch what you do with magic, and it's all sacrifice. You do a prayer to the devil instead of God. It's like, what the fuck, man? You do a prayer to the devil instead of God, sacrifice some shit, put some blood on something, and it's just like, and then all of a sudden these things are supposed to happen. And then the thing is that they happen. They fucking happen. This isn't questionable. If it didn't happen, then no one in the Illuminati and no one would all be doing the same satanic signs. They wouldn't do that if it didn't mean anything. They wouldn't do that if it didn't matter. They wouldn't have it on every fucking thing that they did if that didn't matter. And actually, now that I've studied everything and I know what is what, I know why they have to tell you what they do. Because and this is God's game. He says, this is how it is, and this is a true reality. You can't lie here. You can't. If you lie, nothing you say or do will make your lie real. Your lie is a lie no matter what happens in this reality. So if you're lying, all anyone has to do is check anything you say and it's done. But if you're telling the truth, your truth cannot be beaten. The truth is the truth, and that's that. So in order for something to happen, if you're lying, if I'm lying to you, I tell you with my mouth the lie, but I show you with my face and my actions the truth. So the lie is never a lie. You can always tell when someone's lying, and you don't need them to tell you. Ask a friend, look at what they're doing, research what they said. You can find out a lie. It's easy. But if I'm telling you the truth, you can't prove me wrong. So anyways, moving forward, go faster, Deon. So this whole thing is happening. I know I have to do rituals, and I know I have to do some sort of a sacrifice, and I know I have to do this. So I was like, I'm going to do a good, loving sacrifice, because I was so depressed about my ex that I was like, everyone and everything in the world is evil. I hate everyone. The only thing that's even rumored to be good is God. So I'm just going to find out what the fuck this guy's talking about, and hopefully there is something good here, because if he's not good, I'm jumping off this building. So I did all that, and I was like, fine. God wants me to do something to prove to him that he should talk or pay attention to me, fine. So I did it for 4 months. I did all these godly religious things, and I referenced with every other text and belief to make sure I was okay in the right. And then right before the Ice Poseidon thing happened, I've made much more sacrifices. I feel like my ex-girlfriend was a sacrifice to this, because this was the goal anyways, and it was like I had to do it. And then it was almost as though the lack of faith she had in me was the catalyst to me going and deciding I'm going to go fucking prove this no matter what. And so I was like, well, I'm going to sacrifice you for doubting me to make this happen. And then I'm going to fucking rub it in your face. And I actually did that. And that's why it all broke down afterwards, because I realized that I did that. My intention wasn't good enough. So I had to stop and reevaluate. But anyways, so I'm sitting here, I'm street performing, and I get $2. And one of the dollars blows away, and I'm wearing a suit and a tie, and I'm like, I'm the black guy. How would I look running down the street after $1 in a suit and a tie?
Yeah.
Fuck that. I let it go. And then it happened again. Another dollar flew by, and same thought. Fuck it, whatever. You know what? Fine. Those $2 are a sacrifice to God. I said it just like that, like it was a joke. To God. Yeah. And then the second later, I was like, no, this isn't a joke. You just lost those $2. So if you counted that as a sacrifice, according to all the rules of all this shit, that is a this is like my real thoughts. That is a sacrifice. So I'm going to pray about it. I'm going to pray about the sacrifice, because I haven't prayed yet since I've studied all this shit and actually followed it and tried to do what is said or written about. And again, these things are written, these actions, and there's this thing called Christ consciousness, and it's a matter of a specific fluid in your spinal column traveling up to the top of your cerebrum, goes past your cerebellum. Yeah, no, cerebellum is on the bottom of the top, and then the cerebrum is on the top of the top. So it's like multiple sections. The cerebellum is on the bottom of the top section, and then the cerebrum is on the top of the top. It's called the Christ. That's what they call it, and that's supposed to be where Jesus is. And apparently, if you work this fluid up your spine, it goes through your pineal gland and into your cerebrum, and releases the serotonin DMT type of chemical that lasts for like a month or something, and you're like insanely high, and it activates like 60% of dormant brain cells. And there's so many hidden books, and I've never done it before, but I plan on doing it. But there's so many hidden books, like you can't even find the book. You can't even find this information. It's so hard to find a thing explaining what the fuck they're talking. Again, I'm like you. I don't believe anything, but I look into it so I know about it. And so it was really hard. I still need to study more to find out more. It actually is. But anyways, back to the story. I'm sitting here. The $2 go away, and I put my hands together. I said, "Fine, I'm gonna pray." And this is what I say. I was like, I didn't ask for something that I couldn't get. Okay, I asked for something that I knew I could get, because I didn't want it to be too hard for whatever this universal thing was that it was going to give me. I didn't want it to not work. So I said, my phone broke like 2 days before that, and I just needed like $60 to buy a new phone. So I was like, all right, God, creator, whatever you are, wherever you are, I'm praying. I haven't prayed, and I just want to have enough money to get a new phone by 6 p.m. I gave a time and everything. Yeah. I want to be specific about this shit, because if this motherfucker doesn't give me what I asked for, I'm going to go try something else. That was my thought, you know? Yeah. So I was like, if by 6 p.m. I don't get what I asked for this day after all this, I'm going to have some real hard time with this faith shit. And it's fucking crazy that it happened this way. And I was like, so by 6 p.m., I just want enough money to get a phone. That's all. Just enough. I've been doing this is what I said even. I was like, I've been doing the sacrifices. I've been holding the Sabbaths. I've been fasting. I've been doing all these things that it said that I was supposed to do in order to feel or get this sort of a manifesting, boost. It's all this stuff is just a manifestation boost. And you get more sensitive so that you're able to manifest more directly with the universe, which you are. And so I did it. I asked, I prayed, and I was boom, done. And I was like, by 6 p.m., I just want enough money for a phone, and that was about $60. So I'm sitting here playing guitar, and then I ended up deciding to pack up and move to a new location, which was away from Ice's house. I went to a new location, I posted up, and I started trying to play, and the wind was blowing so hard. It was blowing dirt into my mouth, dirt into my eyes, everything. It was just so, it was blowing my guitar case over, and I was like, dude, I can't do it here. So I went back to where ISIS house was because the wind being blocked by the buildings in that location. Set up, and within like 5 minutes, I see this guy fucking on a red guitar up on the roof, just acting all crazy or whatever. And then he has like a megaphone and yelling at people through the megaphone. Then he sees me and he calls me up. I totally forgot about everything that I did, just mind you, like the prayer and all that. And I completely forgot about it. And then all of a sudden, I go up there and I do the stream. And I was so ready for that. I was like, dude, this is what I've been wanting to do, this specific thing, like go on someone's stream, or someone catches me and puts me on the stage or something, and I just like give them everything I have. I had been wanting something like that to happen, like the whole goal. And it's just so ironic that right after I prayed for, then all of a sudden I get hit with a 9,000 people stream. Then there's 11,000 people. He makes a Twitch account for me. When I get home, I have 8,000 or 7,000 followers. People paid me $850, and then the next week I got paid like almost like $4 grand, like 24 hours just from streaming and shit. And then it just like never ended. It just never ended. Yeah. And then to top it off, when I got home after all that, I was so excited. I ran into the apartment, threw my bag down, took a piss, turned on my laptop, loaded it up, turned on the Wi-Fi, got on Facebook, wrote out like a 2-paragraph essay about what just happened, posted it, and then when I looked at the time, it said like 6:03 or 6:02. And it took me just enough time to take a piss, drop my stuff, open my laptop, and write up. I got into the house at like literally exactly 6 p.m. and I completely forgot. And once I saw that it was 6 p.m., I just kind of like stopped everything I was doing. And I was just like looking around like, what the fuck? Is this a prank? And it was literally like, the universe did what I asked it to do the second that I asked it to do it, on the dot, to the T, exactly what I wanted, to the point where I was like so confused and bewildered that I was like, didn't I just ask for that to happen? Like from like the universe, the creator, the God, I asked him or her or it or that or what to do this at this time. And because I did all these specific steps, it fucking worked. It worked. But it works in a manner that is not unlike reality. Like people are looking for these magical things to happen, but it doesn't happen any way that you haven't seen anything else happen. Mm-hmm. But it still fucking happens. Yeah. That's the story. Like, ever since then, I kind of just have been afraid to do the wrong thing. I swear to God, dude, I'm afraid to do the wrong thing at this point. Like, I'm afraid to do something really evil, because if I pray to a God or the creator, or even to Satan, whoever or whatever, if there is an ever at all, or it's just all me, something is listening, and that means that I need to watch my step.
Yeah. Well, is it something listening, or is it just
I actually don't even know if they're still there. I think your mic is muted.
Yep. Yes, it was. Yeah. Yep. It definitely was.
Damn, I didn't get to hear your reactions.
Fuck. I was definitely. Oh, fuck. God damn it. I was basically like, I was agreeing with everything, and I was saying like, I definitely remember like everything you said, like at the end, or like towards the end, about you know, the stuff with the dollars. I definitely remember that. But as far as like something listening, like, is it something listening, or oh, what the fuck?
I don't know.
Oh,
I don't know. It scares me. It scares me, like I said.
What I was gonna say is like something listening, or fucking. Is it the way that everything happens, what you do, the way that, like, you see, like, the concept of karma itself, I feel like is often misinterpreted to be this sort of balance system of like a bank that like, you know, you put
Well,
in
it
and take out
is.
of. Well,
It is.
let me, what I would like to describe it as is more of so the word karma itself, originally, the definition of karma is just doing, right? So, well, what the fuck was that noise? Did you hear that?
Yeah, I did.
I don't know. Anyway,
They're listening to us right now.
karma just means doing, and it's an idea that all the actions we make in life are connected. It's not some sort of energy in the form of currency that we like give into and take from or receive, like some sort of lottery, like you've done all this for good karma, like I've helped this old lady across the street. It's not the actions that we do that um determines our state in karma, or like what we perceive as like our level of karma. It has everything to do with the intention in which we perform these actions. It's the way like which we develop ourselves and find that our natural reaction and our course of doing is in line with what we will create as far as a path to which we'll either experience fortune or a terrible multitude of unlucky and unpleasant experiences which we have led ourselves to. I think it has everything to do with intention, the paths that we're creating, the things that we're doing and putting out in the universe to allow ourselves to get where we're trying to go. You see what
Yes.
I mean?
Yes, yes. And that's what I was saying, like nothing that isn't true cannot be not referenced in other things. Like the way you just described how you felt karma was, it's kind of crazy, but that is the same way that money works. That's the same way that math works. That's the same way that words work. Like
Mm-hmm.
if I say, "Hey, how's it going?" That the intention of "Hey, how's it going?" is to find out how your day was. If you know what my intention was, then you'll simply give me the reaction that I asked. You'll say, "Oh, I'm doing," and you'll say whatever you feel like saying.
Mm-hmm.
That is the same as karma. Like if I punch some guy in the face, the chances are, based on what he's learned from punches in the face, he'll either look at me and say that wasn't cool and then walk away from me. He'll either kick my ass, he'll either try to fight me back, he'll call me a name, or like whatever he does is based off of mathematical, you know, perception of how he feels about that situation because everyone won't react the same.
Yeah.
So it comes down to like the universe. Like I had been stripper for so many years in advance that eventually, I mean, like if I hadn't have done it every single day like that, I wouldn't have gotten to the point of desperation like that. I wouldn't have gotten to the point where I was ready to put a show on, and I wouldn't have gotten to the point where I was dressing up in a suit to try to draw more attention.
Yeah.
Like because of my karma, what I had done, it led me to be and look and act and behave the way that I did that day, which caused the giant. Because maybe one thing could have gone different. I could have still done that whole prayer and everything, and then I went up on stream and did one thing different, and everyone, this guy sucks.
Mm-hmm.
But because of what everything was happening, so like in one way, you can say that I just worked really, really, really hard. I actually did, really did. But the fact that if I didn't ask, it would have been a different thing. The fact that I asked the universe, and I didn't say, I don't think I said God because I don't like the God or Lord. I don't like what people have connotated or perceived it as. Like I like to think of it as just this one giant universal force that is me also, and that would mean that I get to choose what I want, and it's true. Like if I'm hungry right now, I can put whatever the fuck I want in my mouth and feed myself, which means that I can do anything potentially. So as long as I gauge what it will take to affect all of these people, what do I have to do to affect this many? What do I have to do in order for it to hurt or hit this many? You just think it's just this broad scale of your actions and that is your karma.
Yeah.
So it's not some mystical thing. It's something you calculate. Oh, you run around kicking babies in the stomach? Yeah, you're gonna have a fucking hard go. You're gonna have a hard go after that.
Yeah, definitely.
So that's why I love the idea that they say that God is not that or not that or that either.
Mm-hmm.
This whole like religious thing is cute, but it's too cute to try to describe something so powerful, something so large. If the universe is the universe and the universe is light, and the universe is life, and the universe is just and it just is, and it's everything good and bad, then what makes anyone think that they can call God a name? Or, you know what I mean? Like, that's so stupid. Like, if it is the Big Bang and God is the Big Bang, we'll try to talk to the Big Bang. Like, that doesn't make any sense.
Mm.
It's like, so when you're praying, what I've learned what praying is praying is not what they've, through these religious means, have tricked people into denouncing their divinity with prayer and sacrificing themselves and asking Almighty to come save me and help me. But really what it is, you're asking yourself. You're saying to yourself as the Almighty divinity, what do I want? What do I want? And if you got to the point where you're not murdering someone, you're not killing to get what you want, it means that you're willing to work. Because if I wanted to go get $100, I could just go rob some guy and get $100. But if I'm gonna go get all the way down to the point where I'm on my knees prostrating and crying because I just want $100 from my God, like imagine how, like, what I'm doing is I'm putting all that energy and that intention into a thought or like a feeling. It's a non-physical thing that I'm putting it into, but that doesn't mean that it's not being put into something.
Yeah.
It's just when it comes out, it's going to come out in a non-physical thing.
I just don't think it's something that goes in and out. I just think it has everything to do with, I think, two different things that that are like essential to my point is that not only do I not think it's something that goes in and comes out, I think it's something that constructs opportunity is a very good way to describe it. As far as, you know how they say you decide your own path and stuff like that, you know, you make your own path in life, like, or, you know, instead of like choosing which path to go down. I think those are poor ways of trying to describe something, which is what you're doing is going to be what opens up opportunities, either does or does not open opportunities, and depending on, mostly tied into the second point, what you do with intention. It's the intention in which you're doing things. It's not just what you're doing. You have to have the intention, like sincere. It has to be a sincere, honest intention for what you're doing. You can't just do something and expect it to be good or happen. And the intention in which your actions are, that's going to decide which opportunities open up for you, right? So
exactly,
it's, I guess some people could try to look at it like that's coming back out of whatever it is, but I don't. To me, the way I see it, it's not going in or coming out. It's laying down the path towards you're heading, whatever it is.
Yes, that's exactly what you're saying.
So I think karma is more like the paving of something instead of an experience of I put into this and I get back out. I think it's your construction, and it has everything to do with the intention of what you're doing.
The reason why it's like, for example, the word magic has the connotation, people think Disney, but here's something magical that I can do. If I go out and I play Riptide in public as hard and as loud with much vigor and strength as I can make it at least a crowd of 2 to 3 people stop and like be excited about it. And to me, I figured out that Thinking Out Loud by Ed Sheeran and Riptide by Vance Joy, those 2 songs are magical. Like, it doesn't matter when, where, why, how. If I play those songs, people fucking love them.
Yeah.
And it could just be the chord progression or the tone. I know it's not that I'm singing it. They just love those songs. Those songs are what they love.
Yeah, but they wouldn't stop if you were singing like shit and if you didn't enjoy singing it.
Yeah, that's true. But the reason why I say that is just like, when I say that those songs are magic, you can clearly look at them and be like, that's not magic, it's just a good song, right? Duh, yeah. And I think that's the trick with these words, like with karma, and like, for example, a prayer is not praying to a god. Like, people just don't know what they're doing. Or sacrifice, it's a reaffirmation. If I go, oh, you know what, I sacrifice my dog, and then I kill my dog, boom, and I shoot my dog, then every single time I take a step in my future reality, then I go, man, I have to do what I said I was gonna do. I killed my dog for this. That's what it is. It's just something that you use so that your brain can't lose the focus because of the loss of the thing. So it's not even actually anything. It's a silly way to trick your brain. So it's exactly what you said. It's not going in or going out. It's just a mechanism.
Yeah.
But if your sacrifice is bad, then you're gonna get a bad thing out of it. Like, kill your dog. Well, your dog is dead.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's why I decided to go the Jesus-y way, and instead of sacrifice, pray. So what I was doing was reaffirming to myself that I was gonna do whatever I could to make this work. And thank you, me.
Yeah. Yeah. I think I need to figure out how I can utilize the ability to explain things in ways that almost anybody could understand.
I think you're really good at that.
I think I can digest information and break it down and make it more digestible for people. I don't know.
Dude, I think you're the master at that.
I just
like I would ask you for that advice, like like actually.
Yeah. But see, when it always comes down to it, like, I need to live and I need to eat, but I don't like asking people for money for but I have to get over that because I mean that's what everybody else has done, and that's how they were able to make themselves available to more people.
I don't know. I don't ask for money. I don't ask for money. No, I don't.
No, you don't.
You set it up. You set everything up. Like with you, what you did with me, you just set up all the signs and everything.
Yeah.
So that people can give the money if they want.
Definitely had a different opportunity. Well, you had an opportunity that I don't know if I'll be able to. And
well, I mean, okay, so the reason why I say that is because I'm not just a musician. I'm an entrepreneur. I haven't had a job for 3 years. Like, my jobs are, I'm a fine artist, 2D, like an illustrator, and I'm an animator. And in order to, like, nobody knows me on Twitch. Doesn't help me with animation jobs. Like, so I'm just a real fucking random ass motherfucker of shit. So like, I have to market myself. If I'm selling my fine art to my people or my friends, I had to learn how to sell physical art to people without ever asking them or telling them that I was selling it. Because when you tell them you're selling it, then they think that you're trying to ask them. But you have to think of it the way that a McDonald's does it. They just put a commercial out, a sexy ass McDonald's commercial, and now you're gonna go buy it. So they're not asking you, they just put up a fucking store that you can't, every 5 blocks you can never not go to a McDonald's. And that's how you sell. So whatever your product is, I think you should do lectures because your voice is perfect. You have to talk to people. And you just go on there and don't ask for money. Just set it up and just kill it.
Yeah.
And you will get money.
Have to just do it, and I just have to like give it to a few friends and let them you know, put it places, because that's the one thing I've always had trouble, like, hey, look at this, for some reason. I don't know why. I'm way too self-conscious.
Yeah, you do it with me. Like, you're like literally the main guy that when I ask for how to do this, it's so funny that you're saying this. Like, I'm gonna ask you in a couple of days what I should do to get more money.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, you know, you can never take your own advice, and I don't feel like I have as much as you have to offer. You're incredibly talented, and your talents are very entertaining and refined. So people are looking for that. They're enjoying that. Not a lot of people are looking for random talk shows or bedtime stories, well, you know?
Dude, that's not true at all. Like, when we get off this conversation, I'm going to go listen to some lectures on YouTube with a guy with your voice talking about some shit that I was talking about earlier. That's all some people like me, like podcasts, lectures, like open, like personality, like just tell us about. See, the thing is about music and art is that I've learned what it is, and what it is it's a universal thing. Like I said, the 9 birds, 1 stone. I'm not singing and I'm not drawing. These are diaries. This is all diaries. All I'm doing, this is what art is: dancing, music, finance, being an Uber driver, like whatever you love. All you're doing is putting what you are on your action. Like, tell us who you are. Tell us your issues. Tell us what you're going through in life. Tell us what you think needs to happen to help situations for things that you've experienced. Like, give us your experience, because your existence matters. You're the universe just as much as I am. Like,
yeah.
Talent, that whole idea of talents, I would love to throw that word away, because the amount of times that I've played the guitar or sang with a terrible, awful tinge, okay, where I couldn't even play the strings right and my voice was terrible. I had been doing that since I was 3 years. I'm 26 years old, turned 27. Like, after 25, 24 years of fucking singing and playing a goddamn instrument, you better be fucking good or you're retarded.
Yeah.
So you have the same things that I have that everyone else has. It's just that maybe you're an orange tree instead of a strawberry plant, you know?
Yeah. I feel more like potatoes. Or
Dude,
like
fucking potatoes are French fries, tater tots.
Yeah, no, I don't know. I know what you mean.
You see, the thing is like, Narborough, like, I couldn't put myself on Twitch, and I couldn't like my own stuff and donate to myself on ISIS stream, and I couldn't even invite myself to ISIS room because I'm not any of those people. Which means that it gets to a point where other people's opinions about you does matter, and they actually always, despite what people say, they try to tell you that individual lie that you're so important, that you matter more than everyone else, and that you shouldn't. That's bullshit.
Yeah.
Everyone matters. Everything that everyone else says matters. You, as the individual, never matter. That's why that's why the Twitch thing works. Because ICE is sacrificing his life for that. And whenever I would go on stream, that's what I'm doing. I'm sacrificing my life and my time to make sure that everyone else that's watching me has the best time that they can. I'm not doing it for me. I'm doing it for them, and it's a crazy thing to do for yourself to do for other people to do for yourself. Like, do you get what I'm saying? Like, I'm doing to do for myself. I have to do for random other people. That's how it works.
You're doing what? Say that again.
To do for myself, I have to do for other people.
Oh yeah.
So it would be the same for you. If you want to do something big for yourself, you have to do something big for everyone else. So what is the most beautiful message you can bring, and you can chop it down into like an episodic series or a bunch of lectures. Like, you got to think, what do you have to say? I can already think of some things that you have to say off the top of my head.
What?
You could give people like consultations on how to like set up their streams on Discord. You could be like, join some sort of a stream element team and be like some guy like that. You could do like a radio show, okay? You could do lectures online, tutorials. Like, seems like you're really good with software. You can teach people how to use software on YouTube. Get videos out there, like views. It's a whole process, and a lot of people try to do these things, but also a lot of people try to do music too. You just got to get creative. Something that you haven't seen before. Try to do like a radio thing. Think about what you love and what you want to see fixed. I know you said that you like to play music. Use that avenue as somewhere to practice your songs. Like, all I have, Cody, is drawing, singing, and for some reason I can do backflips. So I've made a cartoon that is literally wrapped around all the tricks that I know. So like, I've never seen a cartoon with tricking, because tricking started when I was the second generation of people that trick. Like, it's a really new thing. So I was like, oh, well, since I can't become the best tricker, I'm gonna make my cartoons trick, and I'm gonna just add everything I have together. I'm gonna use my fine art, tricking, animation, and music skills to just put them together.
Yeah.
You know what you have is best, and you know what you love the best about yourself. And I just gave you a good examples. Like those things I was saying are, I wouldn't tell you that you could do those things for finances. Like, I could even break down how, I feel like that could be like another conversation. But at the same time, like, you just put everything about you. You have a deep voice, you have big feet, and you have a beard. How can your beard, because I can't have a beard. I'm jealous of motherfuckers that get a beard. Show us your beard on the video, okay?
Okay.
And then fucking start telling us about, tell me about some fucking goddamn OBS tutorial. Or like, I don't know, like, that's just your technical skill. I'm sure you have that you're intellectually like intrigued in, and you study it a lot, and you spread that information. And teachers teach fucking 2 + 2, man, for first graders. Like, you can do anything.
Yeah, dude, I feel you. Those teachers have a lot of patience. That's why they get paid.
They're not even making that shit up. They learn 2 + 2 from their teacher. They're just repeating.
Yeah. Yeah, I know what you mean. I guess another thing is, I'm just like way more self-conscious, like, about stuff that I do. Like, whether it's worth trying to share and like show other people, like, hey, check this out. Like I'm proud of this. Like, I want you to give me your opinion. And like, I know that's not how it always is. By doing that, I'm also depriving people of content that they would enjoy. But at the same time, that's just why it's difficult, So, yeah.
Sometimes I'll play guitar and no one will watch, and no one will listen, no one will say anything, and I'll play for like 2 hours, and I feel like absolute shit. The only thing that I have inside of me to keep me not running in front of the next bus is the realization that I was told before that things were a certain way, so I have to accept now that things are that way, and if they're not working out the way I want, then it's not me, and it's just maybe the way of the day. But just, you can't place your self consciousness on yourself, because I couldn't even have gotten to the point where I'm playing in front of all those people if nothing ever happened. Or imagine nothing ever happened like that before, and I was still doing it, which means there's a lot of days where I had to tell and lie to my, you know what I mean, like flat out lie to myself, like, dog, one day you're gonna meet a real cool Twitch streamer guy, and something great is gonna happen. Like, I didn't know that shit was gonna happen.
Yeah.
I was embarrassed every single day until that happened, and I was finally proud of myself after that. That took 3 years, so I mean, you'll probably be embarrassed, but from a person that's telling you if you don't give up and you push and you give not all that you have, because that's weak shit, that's pushy shit, nigga. Sometimes it doesn't take all you have, nigga. Sometimes it takes more than what you got, so you need to step it up. And like, that's what it is. It's like, you give it what it needs, not what you have. That's what they say. That's that give everyone a trophy participating bullshit. Like, nah, nigga, this shit costs $200. I'm gonna need $200. All I got is $160. Well, all you got ain't enough. You need to go get 40 more. It's like that type
of shit. I know what you mean, dude. Yeah, I definitely appreciate it. Because obviously, I don't know. First of all, I'm fucking really tired, so it's kind of like,
dude, me too.
I'm like an idiot, but yeah, dude. I'll definitely, because you're not the first person to tell me I need to do something like this.
Yeah.
And I just always have the same excuse, and I always have like a, you know, I don't know. I'm just
like the most popular Twitch mod. Like, people actually know your name. Nah, bro.
Yeah, I've been in a few streams, like, you know, Dead Scene.
Yeah.
Him and I are pretty cool. Like, we're pretty close now. I've talked to him. Like, he's a homie. Like, I really fucking appreciate him. Like, as a friend, you know. He's a cool fucking dude. And I don't know. Like, I've been in his stream a few times. Like, talk shit in the Purple Army Discord, doing like ASMR, like reading lesbian erotica in a super manly voice and shit.
See, that's it, dude.
Yeah, so doing stuff like that for sure. I have been, and like you said, a few people do know, kind of, I guess. They just know like my voice. That's, I don't know. Not a lot of people though. I wouldn't say like a lot of people like that, but it's also not a whole lot of people, not like them in particular, but like the places people kind of know my name isn't exactly where I would want to start, like you know, fucking a fan base. I guess
Start somewhere.
But no, like, I guess that doesn't sound right. That doesn't sound right. I just, first of all, I wouldn't want to sound like a leech or feel like a leech. Because, like, you're obviously not a leech, because he picked you off the street himself. He was like, yo, dude, come up here. Fucking, yeah, that was totally different. But I feel like what I could do, since I have for a number of people, in the least, is just do something where I just like read fucking stories, because a lot of people enjoy falling asleep to me talking.
Yeah, dude, your voice is so soothing. I'm about to fall asleep right now.
But the thing is, that's not an interactive stream.
Oh, you can be a voice actor. for animations, for commercials.
I would love to do that, but it's extremely difficult to get into.
You tried it already?
I looked into it a lot, and most of the people, like I've looked at more than one person, like especially this one guy who he did a bunch of voice acting in a bunch of games I know, and like some anime and shit, and he his biggest piece of advice was do anything else in your life. Well, I remember that because he was like, it's so awful trying to get work as a voice actor, making these demos, and not even getting paid that much for any of it, doing lots and lots and lots of work. So, I mean, I would still enjoy doing it. Still like to do something like, I don't know, where people can like stupid shit on the internet. Like I've had people ask me to read shit so many fucking times. Like, hey, could you say this? Like, can you read this for me? So I'm about to make like a fucking Fiverr or some shit and be like, yo, I will read shit for you for $5.
Yeah, like, see, the thing with this is that it's so endless. Like, I'm just thinking the way that I would think about. So, I don't give up. So, like, if I said that I'm gonna be an animator, and you told me, oh, there's not enough money in animation, then I would like look you in the eye and be like, all right, there's not enough money in animation. I'll show you not enough money in animation. I'll take that as a challenge, and I'll go figure out how to make a lot. Like, you're not gonna make a lot of money street performing. Nothing's gonna happen with you. You know, you can make something happen. You just gotta get creative. So I would say in your position, like I'm just thinking about the stuff that I have. I would just easily be like, nah, bro, please. Like I have an animation, like voices. I would need voices. And like the thing is that if I get a budget for what the fuck I'm doing, I'm not gonna not pay. I'm not gonna not pay you. You know.
Yeah.
So if you can get, I think the only intelligent thing that you could do was, I don't know if you never saw that Miss Divide guy, but he was this dude that would go around making websites for everyone. It's just making websites. But he got creative. He was like, I'm going to go contact the newly people that are just getting like popularity. Like they're just popping up on the charts. They're getting like crazy Twitters or whatever, and they need a website. And he would contact like Cornbread and all these people that were just getting like discovered like 2 days before he'd be first one, and he'd be messaging, and he ended up getting really big because of it. And then he ended up going bad because he's just a dumb teen. But like, if he was smart, that idea would have taken him far. And like with you, you can go on Dead Scenes thing, and like you could like even like take old streams of people and then like just like fucking make fun of them in your voice, so like do voice dubs, or you get like movies like Friday or funny movies that you see and just do funny voice dubs over it, get like 1 million views on YouTube, and then you're making money.
Yeah. So the other thing is like I don't like feeling like I'm doing anything that anybody else has done but already. That's kind of a bad thing because there's not many things that are very original anymore that something has never done before. Which like could be, and like I understand I'm a different person and I could do something like slightly different, but I still feel like I really try to avoid doing anything like people have done already.
Thank you. That's honorable. Shit.
Yeah.
Trying to add something new to the fucking finally.
Yeah. I don't know, I feel like I have to. I don't know. It makes me. And like, I don't know, something like never mind. I'm gonna stop making excuses and I'm just gonna fucking start doing it and figuring it out.
No, it's not excuses. What it is, you have to say, because I'm like you, like I'm super, super duper picky about what it is that I do, to a point where, did you hear me? Like I said that it has to be 6 birds with 1 stone, 7 birds with 1 stone. I'm talking about when I wake up to get breakfast, I won't go into the kitchen unless I have 4 or 5 things that I need to get from the walk to the kitchen and back. Like everything's gotta hit 6. Like I'm annoying, and I've gotten over it, and I'm like, that's just how I am. So if I'm gonna go to the store, I'm gonna get 12 things. And I'm 12 stores on the way because I can't waste any movement time. So you find out your limits, you find out your things that you can't stand and what you can stand, and you just think about it, and you'll be surprised at how goddamn godly you are as a human being. You can fucking think of anything, and you will find a thought that just happens to slip in between all those you say you can't have happen. I can't copy this, I can't do that, I can't do that, but I can do these three things. And you will find a way to make those three. You just gotta, your brain can't be on the, oh, I don't want to. It's gotta be on the, oh, I'm thinking of this because this is what I gotta make sure I'm not doing. Trust it rather than like doubt it.
I feel you.
But yeah, we should definitely continue this tomorrow. I am so tired.
Yeah, dude, I feel you. Hell yeah. Good talk.
Always.
Yeah, when you're trying to set shit up, tomorrow, like with your OBS shit, you want to get it figured out, you need to set up a test account. Alright, I'm just gonna say this. If you're serious about this, we need to start listening to me like a manager, okay? When I say you need to make a test account and we need to test this shit, we just gotta do it. You know what I mean? Like stuff like with the emotes and the sub badge. I know it's not fun, but it's for the good of the stream. And like, if you're ready to do this, you're ready for some commitment. You know what I'm saying?
I didn't want to commit, man.
I know. I could tell, and that's why I didn't, you know.
Push.
Yeah, it didn't take off as crazy as it could have.
Yeah, and I'm glad. I swear to God, I'm glad because I didn't need that.
Yeah, I mean that's why like I could kind of tell, and that's why like I eventually kind of like backed off after a little bit.
But it's not like it, dude. It's not like it's like it can happen again. Like I have no question. Like
right, but that's what I'm saying. If it's gonna happen again, I need to see some fucking commitment here. And if I'm saying something about the stream, like we need to set this up, we gotta set it up. All right.
All right.
Because I'm gonna help you. You know I can help you. You know I can do a lot of shit for you.
Yeah.
You just gotta do it. And we can do it.
Yeah.
So simple shit like
honestly,
that. Huh?
I would, if I didn't know for like a 7,000% fact that I could just make it happen again, I would have never let it go. Like I think, well, I don't think anyone, like I was literally gonna say I think if I stopped it would end, but nah. I feel like once you figure out how to do something, I think you can always do it again. Like anything.
Literally in the past week alone, I've seen 2 separate conversations about you in 2 separate servers. People still know who you are and they still like you. They bring you up all the time, like whether it's talking about like Ice fucked over good people, he left these people behind, or like, do you guys remember Dion, or like, yo, he actually streamed the other night.
Dude, he did not leave me behind, dude.
I know.
If anything, I left him behind.
You know the memes, dude. You know how it goes. Well, I don't know if you've been paying attention, but it's in a very, very fucking sad state right now. Extremely sad state. The whole community, the whole streams, everything. Ice himself. He was averaging like 4K, 3K viewers for about a week. It's pretty bad right now.
That's bad for him?
Yeah, dude, he was averaging like 12K.
Yeah, and when you're a guy like Ice, that's what I meant by the intention energy. He's just like a clown in front of a goddamn camera, just dancing away. He's run out of moves, man, and he just keeps. Like I see his Twitter post, and this is how I feel. His Twitter posts are, okay. streaming tomorrow. It's just like, dude, take a break. Don't stream for a month. See, you're laughing. The only reason why I'm laughing is because that's exactly what you see when you see his Twitter post.
I know what you mean.
I wasn't going out like that, Cody. I was like, yo, fuck this. I'm actually doing something like really tiring. Like, I can't do this for 8 months straight. Like, I need a break from these people.
Mm. Yeah, man, I feel you. I feel you. But either way, dude.
I'm just glad that people like you and like, it's like, it was almost as if you guys all, like, it was like the whole world was like, okay, Dion's got to take a break. And it's like everyone just waited. Mm-hmm. That's like the best feeling ever.
Well, yeah, man. You're like a genuine person. You weren't just some fucking asshole troll. Like, you weren't just some spastic. You actually have good content. And you're not like just, you're not just another tryhard, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. It's just, I don't know.
Isn't it crazy that my goal was to not be a tryhard? Like when I told you what my original goal was, and then it's just like, this is the result of it. It's almost as though like, it's like, man, I really had to handle that. Really gotta trust yourself.
Yeah, that's a good point. And that's something I was saying before is remember I was trying to drive home, get a schedule, stick to a schedule as much as possible, even if it's not fucking,
no, schedule.
Dude, I know, but like, bro, if you're trying to grow, like right there, he's been streaming more recently, but not consistently enough for me to want to interact. More consistency would be more opportunity for interaction.
And also when I first started, I remember it was Twitter, Instagram, fucking Twitch. You had to post that you're coming online. Fucking post a YouTube VOD that day or whatever. It was just like, dude, all these things, fuck.
Bro, all this like little bit of work on some computers that you could even ask some of your mods to do, bro. Oh my goodness, dude, that's the worst. Come on.
I know, right? Bro, I was just literally thinking that the other day. I was like, well, fuck, dude. Like, the sad part is like you're not even expecting to have anyone on your stream. I think that's the worst part. Is like when you know no one's coming on your stream, and then you know why. It's just like, bro, what the fuck?
Listen, dude, listen. You know why I'm your fucking manager? Well, you can fucking ask me shit. Like, bro, this Twitter, Instagram, all this, like, it's fucking annoying. And I'll be like, hey, man, I got you. You know there's an application that'll allow you to post on every single social media platform at the same time with one message?
What?
And you can let me even do that for you? Oh my goodness. Come on, Dion, talk to me, man. This is what I'm saying. Utilize me.
I know you do keep saying that. Alright, this is it, Cody. This is it.
Yeah. One thing. If I do start streaming on Twitch, this is YouTube, it's fine, but like, I don't know, I'm probably gonna start streaming if I do like under a different name, because the name Narbra is
too much history.
Too much history, too much edgy shit, too much, you know, I don't know, everything that's like, and also apparently everybody thinks I'm trying to fucking rip off Nate Bra. I didn't even know who the fuck that was until somebody mistakenly thought I was trying to rip him off.
Who's Nate, bro?
He's a fucking RuneScape streamer.
Huh.
So it's pretty annoying because if I do want to be a streamer and I do play RuneScape and people think my fucking name is Nate, like it's so fucking annoying, dude. Straight up. Especially like I was saying earlier, I don't want to fucking do anything that anybody else has done before. You think I want to rip off somebody's name? Come on.
I have more pride than that.
Happens so many times.
Dude, I think you can do anything. Aren't you white?
I'm white, kind of. On the
Dude,
skin.
what are you waiting for? Dude, you have the same.
We're like the same. But
You
like,
have a deep voice, you have a beard, and you're white. That should have been it right there.
hey.
The world should be at your feet.
I don't know about that. Bro, what you were saying about Black Lives Matter shit earlier, I had me fucking dying.
Because it's fucking true, dude. Like, Black Lives Matter. Is that a fucking cardboard box? I don't care what you're saying, dude. Is that a cardboard box with Sharpie on it? Dude, a homeless guy can get a better setup than that.
Kill him.
It's like at least if these guys are coming out with like marble carved fucking signs that took like 2 people to hold up. It's like these magnificent fucking they like have a magnetic pull and like electrical current. Like these are some real heavy duty signs. Like that's what I'm talking about. That shit shows like it matters, right? You're coming around with a plastic bag and a fucking red spray paint can with like the can wasn't even mixed properly. It's all chunky. Really? Really?
Oh man.
Try to come up with a car like you're driving up in your car and like as you pull into the driveway the fucking bumper falls off and then the hood pops open and you're like, my car matters. It's like, bitch, if you don't get this piece of shit car out of my driveway.
I fucking hate him.
Stupid.
Oh man. What'd you say
It's
earlier? Like you would always say that like
Lil Wayne said it the best. The first time I heard it, like Lil Wayne was like, he got on the news and then they were like, how do you feel about Black Lives Matter? And then he looked at the lady on the interview. It was the funniest thing ever. He was like, Black Lives Matter. He's like, bitch, I'm Lil Wayne. The fuck you mean Black Lives Matter? I don't give a fuck about a black. I mean, and I don't condone with Lil Wayne's niggerdom and his spread of it, but it's like at least as ghetto and as horrible as he makes us all look, he was appalled at the question of Black Lives Matter. He was like, what do you mean Black Lives Matter? He was like, Black Lives Matter. He's like, my life matters more than your life does, bitch. And I was like, damn. And he was like, I don't give a fuck about Black Lives Matter. I mean, like, you know who matters. We all know who matters. Who matters, matters. Who don't. You know, I'm not about to go fucking start talking about a whole bunch of people. Like, and then he started laughing and looking around. He was like, shit, who don't know Lil Wayne? And I was like, damn. And like, in that moment, a lot of people were looking at him like, man, fuck this guy, dude, fuck this dude. But in that moment, that was like my most proud moment of Lil Wayne. I was like, thank you. Like, he was like, I matter so much that I would never fucking say that. I don't have to say that I matter. He was like, go try to find somebody that doesn't know who I am and then ask me if I matter again. That's what he said. Black lives. I was like, damn. Exactly. If you matter, you don't even need to tell anyone that you matter. You just matter.
Yeah.
And this isn't saying that black people haven't been oppressed and that they don't deserve all their rights. I mean, I'm a black guy. Like, of course I understand that. It's just like the approach. That approach is like it's the epitome of why a lot of people think of black people the way they do. It's because like, well, look at the way that you guys are approaching this from and it's not all black people. Okay, my family, black people are not like that. Like my family is very educated and very wealthy, but there's other, you know, my parents. Well, this is what my parents taught us growing up. She's like, they were like, there's black people and then there's niggers. So like we're black people, but then there's niggers out there, and you know they make all the black people look just like rednecks make white people look bad.
Yeah.
And cholos make Mexican people look bad. Like, the worst denomination of your race will make you look bad type shit.
Yeah.
And it's like if a bunch of rednecks walk around like, "What lives matter?" with like corn fucking pitchforks and straw signs and shit, you'd be embarrassed.
Fucking inbred lives matter.
Yeah. Just wearing like fucking wife beaters with hella just like sunburned ass necks, no sunscreen. Just like, you'd be embarrassed too, dude. Yeah. It's like, dude, let me talk about what matters. I'm making this. You need to get a job. What you talk about? Anyways, you get it. I'm beating it on that.
Man, maybe I should actually start like, not like this one. This was just because like I just wanted the stream just to like have it, but we should start doing these talks on YouTube so you can say nigger and stuff, and fucking I think people would really enjoy them, honestly.
Dude, that's perfect. We could call them like Narbra Podcast.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or we could actually just call it fucking. We could make up something that me and you, because like I remember this one comedian named Patrice O'Neill had this group of people, and they would just do podcasts about. Well, it was a radio show. People have to be able to call in.
Discord.
Like, yeah, it's got to be like on Discord, or we have to have the Discord connected to the stream.
Yeah, just have a Discord link in the stream, and they can join, and that's how they can talk.
And we just do a stream radio show. Oh, that would be so sick.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because this has been pretty good. It's only been like 2 hours. Actually, we've been talking for like 2.5 hours at least, but...
What the fuck?
Yep. This is what always happens. And every time we go to talk about something like technical or like for the stream, it always ends up like this. It's awesome.
Yeah, dude, this is. I was actually gonna say something like this. Is like, we got to do something together, like something like this. Well, the thing is it can't just be me and you. We got to think bigger. Like, how are we gonna other? Oh, well, it'll have to start off with us, and then other streamers will maybe want to get in on that. And then that can be your avenue in, like the Narbra Podcast.
Mm-hmm.
And you can just have like regular guests. And we post them on YouTube and just entertain, bro. It's so easy to entertain people.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I guess the other main thing is like actually fucking feeling like good enough, like okay enough personally, like emotionally and shit, to actually have the kind of, you know, enjoyable personality, that type of energy to put out, like, you know.
Dude, your personality has always been like this.
Yeah, when I talk to you, when I'm not, you know, I avoid talking to people when I can't, you know.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So
that's the thing about this whole lifestyle is, like I was saying, once you're in front of the people, then you're not yourself anymore. You're theirs. And like that's why Ice is dying like this, is because he's not his own anymore. Like hanging out with him off stream is like the most depressing thing ever. Like,
dude, I've heard that so many times too.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Cool. So I'm not tripping. It's bad. Like, he'll be like, "Hey man, how's it going?" Stream goes off, and then he's just like, "Oh, oh man!" It's like his whole stomach just comes out. It's just like, and he's just like, "I'm a bad influence. I'm such a piece of shit." Like, he just feels so bad about everything he does. He feels so terrible, and he's such a shitty guy, and and he's so depressed about it, and he's just like, it sucks being the big man and all this, and I'm just like sitting next to him, and like we're just having like kind of a conversation like this, like trying to tell him like what he could do, make more money and such and such, and he's just like, yeah, man, I don't even know. Ugh, just streaming it, and it's taxing. Yeah. Everyone knows everything you're doing. Yeah, you're making money. Yeah, you're doing this, but to have your face on the line like that, it's I'm not gonna lie, it hurts. Yeah, you gotta like develop this crazy thick skin to where like if somebody comes on my stream and says, "Hey, Ice ditched you," I just gotta like
see you, Jen.
I have to have the energy like, oh, I'm above this loser. That's the only way that I cannot crumble, is that I gotta call him a piece of shit loser. Then you get that ego,
yeah,
and that arrogance about you, and all it is a protection. And then people start to meet you, and then they think that you're really like that, but you're actually just guarding yourself from all the people that wish you harm and call the cops on you to get you swatted so that they can have a cool stream. You know, that happens to you enough, you're gonna become an asshole, as you should.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
I didn't think Twitch was the best community to get into, especially after I found out ISIS people were. I was like, "Fuck, here we go." And then once stuff started happening with Cornbread and that one geisha stream, dude, I made like on that stream alone, I think I made like $1,500. People were like, "This is for Dion." Like at least 2 or 3 people sent like $500 for me, and Ice gave me $100.
Really?
And he called me out of my fucking pajamas to come do that day. He gave me $100. He didn't give me jack shit. Really? And he literally only gave me $100 because I was streaming in front of his apartment again. And I think that I did that all the time anyways. I think he thought that I was doing that because I wanted him to pay me. Otherwise he wouldn't. Type shit.
That's interesting.
And then when he gave it to me, he was like, "Here's the money," and then just like walks off. And I was just like, wow, I was so totally rude. And I had to like play it off for him on stream, like, "Oh, it's cool. I just paid me, guys. Looks like everything is working out."
Yeah.
Because I didn't want people to start calling me a nigger because Cornbread was telling them the truth.
Yeah.
He was telling them the flat out truth. And then everyone started talking shit about him, and I was like, fuck, that means if I tell the truth, they're going to start talking shit about me, so I can't even tell them fuck Ice.
Yeah, of course, dude.
They'll be like, everything that Ice did for you, and you still say fuck Ice? You're a terrible person. And I'd be in that boat.
Dude, if you said that, you would get like 3,000 upvotes on Reddit right now. That's how the community is. It's literally fuck Ice. There's so much hate. I don't even want to explain it all to you.
Should I go on stream and talk shit about him?
No. Don't do that. Because that's no good for nobody. That's not going to help your character, what you're trying to accomplish and put out there. No. I don't think, even if there is a reason to talk shit on people, there's no reason to go on stream and do it. That's my opinion.
Yeah, I can't believe he did that to Cornbread. He ruined Cornbread's whole Twitch career.
Yeah. Dude, he's been getting like 5 viewers. Kind of unfortunate. Feel bad.
I mean,
but,
dude, like, I've been getting 5 viewers.
Yeah, but you didn't stream forever.
Yeah, if I do get 5 viewers,
you get like
it usually goes up to like. Yeah, it'll usually go up to like 20. But the thing that's been happening recently is that my stream keep dying after an hour and a half. If I could keep a good 4 to 5 hour stream going, I think I could get up to about 50 people, and then eventually up to 100, and then from there.
So
it's just that
when people would like donate for you to get like a microphone, get like I can help you look into it to see which would be the best microphone to put on your phone for like wind protection and like good sound that's not going to clip. Because the other thing that you bought was like worse than the built-in camera phone or microphone.
Yeah, no one told me that until like after 4 months of using it, and now, dude, this is worse than the built-in camera.
But I mean, that's like one thing that I noticed. Like, probably half the people would come in and they would say hi and they would be like, I want to listen because he's great and I like him, but the wind and everything is too much.
Yeah, and like also like recently people have been telling me my stream keeps lagging, and like actually I had a stream like 2 days ago and I had like it got up to like 20 people and I was like, damn, I haven't had 20 people in a stream and in a while. Like, if that kept going for another 3 to 4 hours, I could have gotten up to like 30, 40 people in there.
Mm-hmm.
And wasn't even like I've been trying to hide like if I start posting it on Twitter, and
yeah,
it's gonna happen. We're gonna do it. We're gonna make it happen.
What I'm saying, if you're ready to do it, there's a lot that can be done, but it needs the commitment and the upkeep. It's gonna be work. It's not just gonna be simple. But I can also help you with that as much as I can. I'm finally got an interview for a job Friday, and hopefully that works out. But also, hopefully, I'm not gonna be working like all the fucking time and have no time.
Hopefully that works out.
Yeah, trying to. That's like one thing is like not being able to afford shit I need. All right, medicine, all the medicine I take, fucking. It's hard. It feels when my body feels horrible, makes everything else kind of hard to deal with. So.
Oh yeah, didn't you say you have like a stomach thing?
I have a lot of things. The worst of it though is my occipital neuralgia, which is the branch of nerves that like starts in my neck and branches into my head, and one of it goes like one of the branches of nerves goes directly into the eye, and that's fucked up, and it gives me like cluster headaches that are like worse than fucking mine, that can't be treated as. One of the only things that really helps is weed, obviously. So.
Do you have like a specific diet?
I just like I can't eat too much like cheese or like milk and stuff, especially after like when it's late. Just can't eat like really shitty, like a bunch of like processed foods and stuff like that.
So you have to eat real food. That's actually kind of good.
Yeah, it's really good, but it's also hard because real food is expensive. Yeah.
Well, we just gotta think of something big, something grandiose, something that is effective to everyone, something that is Narbra. And while you're helping me become successful in my career, you're being fully selfish in that you'll have me to help you in your career. So
wait, hold on.
let's just
My fucking like speakers were fucking up or something. What did you say?
I said you're helping me in my career, so you can be. I mean, I said you're being selfish enough to help me in my career, so I can be selfish enough to help you in yours. You know, we just gotta think of. I mean, like everything comes from brainstorming. From a guy that creates cartoons, like this is literally nothing. We have nothing here. You want me to make you a cartoon for as a job, you know, like this is what I do for clients, and they're like, they just start talking about ideas, like, oh, I want him to look like this, and I want his face to look like that, and I want it to look like this too. And then I get to a point, I say, okay, you just gave me two different facial descriptions. Which one do you want his face to look like? Because he can't have both. You gotta get specific. So then that way I can draw what you just said. I can make what you said, but you have to describe his face, his head, his hair, his eyes, and you have to describe it perfectly. And then it's easier for me to imagine my own thoughts and then draw them out because it's just direct. It's just like, this is what I wanted it to look like. Boom. But I can't draw it on the piece of paper until I've already seen it in my brain. And this is the same with your life and your goals and your, if you're going to make up a new job that's never been done before, because you have to do that because you're you, and it has to do with your voice and your personality, then you're gonna have to envision it first all the way. You're gonna have to think of its nose, eyes, its mouth, its how tall is this thing. I can help you think of that. And once we figure out what this thing looks like, then the next step is simply to breathe life into it, and that's done. You're done. So the hard part is figuring out what it is that you're gonna do. Everything else is to walk in the park.
Well, I would feel like it's something that needs to happen. I definitely need to I know what you mean, like that's been the biggest problem is actually conceptualizing what I could do. No matter how many times I'm told what, you know, because most people just say no, like, and you actually give like more detailed, like actual advice. Like most people just say, like, if you don't do something with your voice, like, you know, you just like say do something with your voice, like just do voice acting.
Because they don't know.
Yeah,
What are they gonna do? They're just gonna go get a job. You have to be creative enough to figure out how to make it so that you collect the thing that you want. It's all a game. It's just a big giant. The reason why I threw out actual ideas instead of just saying that you should do this stuff is because I realized how the thought happens. Like recently, for example, I got to think of what I'm gonna do. It's my career. You helped me just now by saying, because I was telling myself I need to get a schedule. I was telling myself all the stuff that you just told me recently, and what that shows me is that because I said that to myself, I put it out into the universe, and then you, as the universe, collected that message and you sent it back. Like, I mean, like my whole stream didn't work, nothing worked, and then instead I was kind of pissed. I was like, so what's gonna happen then for the rest of the night? Because that was bullshit. But we ended up having this conversation, which was very, very good for me. And it was almost as though that all happened so that this could happen. And I like to think of things this way, and I feel like it does me very well. So because of that, I'm definitely going to use you, and I know that you know your shit, so it's going to work. So you can use me, and I'm telling you, I can make anything come up from nothing just by thinking about it. So I have kind of pissed off endless ideas to help pull into whatever it is that we need to do in order to create this life source.
hell yeah, hell yeah. All right.
But we gotta go to sleep. Sleep on it.
Dude, this is I actually wish I had people watch this stream. Besides my fucking Australian friend Jen. We can definitely do some shit like this. Like, I know for a fact, like, I'm gonna have something where it's gonna be something, at least part of it is gonna be radio show type, where I talk to people. Because conversation with somebody else is really what is able to drive content. Bouncing ideas off each other, or telling stories like that, like, I know for one thing, people would love to be, um, you know, especially just from like the Purple Army, like people would fucking love to hear tell stories about ICE and shit, like especially off street.
Yeah.
Whatever happened, like, hold on here, I'll stop this before I